Hey folks, welcome back. We're back in Brooklyn once again. I did eventually decide we are going to take the stagecoach route this episode. It's also one of the longer routes, as I said, during the boat route, Cape Horn route. That probably the shortest is the Panama one. While it's got the most interactive material, it's probably the shortest one overall. I think the stagecoach is probably the longest one. But in any case, we're back in Brooklyn, and as opposed to buying the ticket from your neighbor, I can't remember what his name is, but you buy the ticket, well, where else but at the Stage Travel store. We talked to the man who looks pretty much identical to the postman, and we were asked to buy a ticket. And yet instantly you walk through the door, Jared. You decided to head west. The furthest west I can get you is Independence, Missouri. There you'll join a wagon team heading west. The cost of a ticket to Independence is $200. Are you interested in the ticket? So with this ticket, we could actually technically have bought it with just our income from our bank account already. And also, I mean, like I said, if the gold rush hits, this is the one that stays the cheapest. I think it just goes up to $400. So regardless, you should have enough money to make it on this trip. I could have saved it for last and kind of shown that, but it probably really wasn't worth it. I could do that for, like I said, I'm doing a special video at the end just showing what material I missed out on, so I could technically do that. But I figured I should get at the longest routes out of the way first. So anyway, we'll buy the ticket. Maybe $200 in cash, please. And we'll pay the man. This is your ticket. It'll get you to Independence, Missouri, Jared. Now I'm about to give you some information you might find helpful later, so listen up. I've enlisted you in a member of the Long Island Joint Mining and Stock Company. You should be able to locate the company once you arrive in Independence. To get started, show this man your ticket and at the livery stable, and have a safe trip. Good luck, Jared. That information really isn't particularly... I mean, I guess it's useful to the character, but not to us. There's no kind of situation where you arrive at a camp and there's 20 different groups there and you try to figure out which one's yours. And also for this route, I should point out that both other routes, the Panama and the Cape one, you need to buy additional material from the town. Like the fruit we had to buy with the Cape Horn route. And this one we don't actually have to do anything. We just go into here and... Hey Jared, please wait outside, I'll be right with you. Oh. And that horse can kill you, as you can imagine. What may I help you with today? Show ticket. Midget says, I'm not sure how politically correct that is, but maybe it was for the time. So you believe the rumors about the gold, I hope you strike it rich. Hey Harry, bring the stage over here. So that's what we actually need to do in Brooklyn for this, this route. And we got music for our travel away as well. As you see, again, we got 60 out of 60 points. This route is also perhaps the most notorious for the random death curse of Gold Rush. There's probably more ways in this one for random death than there are in any of the other paths, even perhaps more so than the Cape Horn path, where there's really two of them in that one. In this one I think there's much more, and they can, I think they strike a lot further, or have the potential to strike a lot further into the trip. You have 60 out of 60 out of the possible 60. Well done. Sorry, I was just wanting to... That's alright. I just wanted to double check that the recording was right. But it should be alright. So we're running across to the other side of, I guess, New York we're heading to? I'm not sure. I don't know my geography of the states. If you do, well, you know, correct me. I'm not upset about being corrected. The first stop in your journey is the beautiful Buffalo, New York. Oh, it's semi-right, I guess. You gladly get off the stage at Buffalo and embark on a Great Lakes steamer. So where'd you go on a multiple piece of transportation on this route? And we're going through a lot of places very quickly. Must be quite nice. We're in Lake Michigan. In Chicago, a city with whopping 20,000 inhabitants, you disembark the Great Lakes steamer only to board another water-going vessel, the canal boat. This will take you to Peru, Illinois, so ride of about 100 miles. So again, it's kind of an educational part that you get told about the history of, I guess, travel to Western America at the time, but in a way that's kind of in character with the game. It's not kind of breaking the fourth wall. You're kind of relating to everything that's happening. Anyway, after Peru, the next leg of your trip will board the river steamer, which will take you to St. Louis via Illinois and Mississippi rivers. It may seem unbelievable, but you've changed steamers again in St. Louis. You're glad to discover that this is your last boat ride, not knowing that in a few short weeks you'll long for a relaxing boat ride. You board another steamer in St. Louis and ride about 390 miles to Missouri River and to Independence, Missouri. Hurry up and wait. You'll be in Independence, Missouri in approximately 2 days. Don't know what that was about. You don't look long before you find the Long Island Joint Mining Stock Company, camp set up just north of Independence. Sorry. For a great deal of anticipation, you enter the camp. So here, there's a few people we have to talk to. We'll just talk to everyone, really. The man sitting on the log says, "Hello, youngster. I'm glad to see we got some young blood along this trip. We're gonna need it." I'm doing a bit of a tongue-tie this episode, but we'll carry on. There's no one close enough to talk to. Well, that's because this guy's so old he can't hear anymore. We can't actually get around that way, so it's a bit of a nuisance. As you can imagine, the captain of this crew, or whatever you want to call him, the chief, the head, is the guy in the top right. We'll talk to him shortly enough, but at the moment there's probably no rush to do it. Pig roaster says, "I've got me a pig roasting on that there spit. Can hardly wait to sink my teeth into it." Oop. That's all he had to say. I think this guy in the top left is asleep, so I don't think he actually talks to us. But we'll give him a go anyway. Talking to this man is useless. He's sound asleep, as I so said. And we've got another screen. There's only 2 screens of the camp, regardless of where you walk and which direction you walk in. I guess there's technically a third, but we'll show that in due course. Told this man is out of breath from chopping wood, and yet he continues to do so. You continue to do so for months on end. I talked to this guy, and the man reading the book says, "It's just a beautiful day to relax and really read a good book. It's going to be a tough few weeks. I'm enjoying every moment I have of this easy life." The man continues, "Since we'll be traveling together, I'd like to give you something. Here, take this book. I'd like you to have it." You graciously receive it and say thank you. Again, it is just I don't mean just it, but it is the Bible. Read Bible. And there you go, Genesis 1. Like I said in the Cape Horn, I'll use that book later on in the game. But we'll get to that when we actually get to the point we have to use it. We'll talk to the captain now. These men engage with an intriguing conversation with the captain. So we'll get close to the captain. You find the man who appears to be the leader of the company and introduce yourself to him. "Excuse me, sir. My name is Jared Wilson. I'll be going to California with you." "Welcome to the Long Joint Mining and Stock Company, Jared," bellows a seasoned-looking man. "It's great of you to join us." "My name's Captain Buddy. That's right, Captain Buddy. I'm going to do everything within my power to take this company safely across the country to California. Before we go too far, Jared, there's something I need you to know. The company fund is running low. I'm asking all of the company members to contribute everything they can, so we can make it all to California as soon as possible." So we give the rest of our money to him. It's not that we need it. We're going to strike it rich in California, so what's a few $100s to us, really? We'll give him our money. You reach deep in your pocket and retrieve all your remaining cash and hand it over to the company captain. Thank you so much, Jared. You're a bright-looking young man, and I have an assignment for you. When the plains are turning green from the growing grass and the mud is beginning to dry, we need to make haste to the riches in California. But in order to do that, we're going to need a fine team of animals to pull these heavy wagons. I'm charging you with the responsibility of attaining these animals. The company fund will pick up the tab. Head south into Independence and find the teams and report back to me when you've accomplished your mission. So we have to quickly, walk all the way to Independence, I guess, and pick up some animals. So you walk south, and we're there that quickly. Looks like a lively town in the background, but we can't visit it. I guess there's a church and a few townhouses there. But we have to talk to this man and purchase some animals. The man says, "Hello, young greenhorn. What can I do for you today?" Buy animals, I guess. The man says, "You come to the right place for that. This is what I can offer you. Mules, young oxen, mature oxen. Which would you like?" Well, we were given a tough choice here. We've got to pick which one we want. There's only actually one right choice, and that's mature oxen. Each other. Doo-dah. Oh, the doo-dah-day. Anyway, any other choice, whether it be the young oxen or the mules, meet with untimely deaths later on in the game. Not so early on as now, or instantaneously. It's kind of a problem, and it's kind of a Sierra game problem, I guess, where you can get to a certain point in the game, save all the way up to that point, and then just realize you screwed up somehow in a really minor way, and not be able to get past it, because, it's a very Sierra game system where, you just get stuck completely, and you become unaware of your mistake until you get to the point. The man says these mature oxen are weathered and tested and true. I'm sure they will not be disappointed. Deliver them to your company camp before nightfall. So we've done all we need to do here. This is the only time we'll see this screen in the whole game. So, wave goodbye to the animals. I was considering showing the related deaths to those animals, but I probably won't. There are videos up there that do show. There's a video that shows all the deaths in Gold Rush. I think it's by Mr. Whitman, Whitman. He does Sierra game deaths, and if you want to watch all of the deaths in pretty much any given game, he's the guy to look at. But we'll talk to the captain again. You report back to the captain that you've secured a team of animals, and they'll be delivered to the camp later today. I trust you selected the right animals to pull our wagons cross country. I have another assignment for you. It's up to you to determine when your company should head west. If we leave too early, the plains will be muddy, and the wagons will sink into the axles, and the animals will not have enough grass to eat. But if we wait until the plains are fully green, it may be too late, and then we'll be faced with the gut-wrenching thought of encountering an early winter storm in Sierra Nevada mountains. Report back to me when it's time to head west, Jared. So we go into another screen. I'll quickly save it, because this part is reasonably easy to mess up. You're going to go to the screen up north, where you can see the plains. You got to look at the plains and determine when it's appropriate time. For some reason, there's a bit of lag here. You're at the edge of camp overlooking the plains. We'll look at them. The plains are still brown and muddy from a cold, wet winter. There's very little grass. I believe you can really do it in normal mode, so we'll have to go into normal mode. You have to go back and forth until you notice there's a difference. It's really the most tedious part of the game, but there's not much you can really do about it. I may pause the game here and join you again once the planes are more ready for us. So, I'll see you in a bit. And we're back. This is a message you have to wait for. Your keen eyes notice the plains are growing greener every day and the mud is beginning to dry. So that's what we had to wait for. You can't really notice it by just looking at it, I guess. But that's apparently the right time to do it. I understand, at least. From what I remember, at least, should I say. So we'll talk to Captain Buddy and tell him that we're on our way. So, You report back to Captain Buddy. I think it's time and we should head west. Captain Buddy bellows, "Okay, man. Our scout Jared is determined that it's time to break camp and head west. Let's hitch him up and move him out." So they're relying on you quite a lot here, and as I mentioned in the Cape Horn video, it seems that the parties that you travel with rely perhaps too much on you, that they almost, well, be dead without you. So in the case of, if all goes the same for the other routes, I'm guessing the Cape route is never going to make it to land. When we took the Cape route, this group probably would have died somewhere halfway across America. And the same goes somewhat with the Panama group, but we'll get to that when we get to that. It's 2,100 miles to California, but after only a few miles, your company and another company heading west realize that the wagons are too heavy, and you begin what will start to be a continual process of lightening the wagons. The traffic is very heavy, leaving Independence. There must be hundreds of wagons, usually pulled by 6 to 8 mules or oxen on the trail. The trails become deeply rutted and making passage difficult. Wagon axles break, wheels fall off, wagons sink up to the axles in mud. If they cannot be pulled out, they are abandoned. 45 miles down the trail forks south is the Santa Fe Trail, north is the Oregon-California Trail. Very few take the south route. It isn't long before the first Indians are encountered. The first Indians encountered the Shawnee and the Potawatomis. I'm just going to say it like you can say it. Much to the surprise of the travelers and disappointment of some, they are very friendly and helpful. Crossing the Kansas River. This is another one. That moment there is a random death point. Luckily we made it across, but it's one of the points in this trail, and why I decided to tackle it so early, that you can just randomly die. Which makes this trail probably the most difficult of them all. Sorry, I just got that message accidentally. It's necessary to keep a keen watch at all times. The plains teem with buffalo. Herds of them stretch as far as I can see. Wildlife is extremely abundant. But the traveling masses do little to preserve their surroundings as they make haste to the west. While traveling the trail, you find those who have gone before. You left a trail of litter and garbage. As there is no trail, you would hardly notice. You could just follow the trash. It's a sad sight. So we're seeing the early days of, Also along the way you find discouraged travelers heading back home in their wagons. The first major milestone is Fort Kearny. It was recently built by the U.S. Army to attempt to keep peace between the Pawnee and Sioux Indians. Travelers look forward to Fort Kearny for various reasons. Some just want a place to mail letters, others are interested in how many have passed before them. Leaders want information on the condition of the trail ahead. I don't know why I'm talking with such a weird accent, but just go with it. The trail is wide and easy to traverse. The Plate River provides an ample supply of water. Between Fort Kearny and Fort Laramie, the company should average 17 miles per day. The upward slope is so gentle that animals barely feel the grade. Discarding unnecessary items at Fort Kearny really paid off. The captain advises the rest of the company that this will be the easiest part of the trip, so you had better enjoy it. Due to the lack of wood to burn for fires, a common fuel substitute is buffalo chips. They burn well if they're dry, and if they're damp, they smoke a lot. If they're wet, they're next to fireproof. This route is, like I said, the longest. There's 2 more instances, I believe, which are interactive, where you have to do something. The rest of it is very much this, but it's quite a long one. So once we get to perhaps the next interactive screen, we'll wrap up. One of the main obstacles between you and Fort Laramie is the crossing of the South Plate River. What makes this crossing so difficult is that the riverbed is like quicksand. The trail ahead will take the company through the most prominent landmarks of the trek, also of the West. Ash Hollow. Courthouse Rock. That's my favorite song. Chimney Rock, that's not as good. All along the way, wagons have been getting lighter, but climbing the gentle slopes of the North Plate, your cabin finds it necessary to lighten the load even more. The captain also takes note of the need to increase the care given to the animal teams. There's much tough terrain ahead. Fort Laramie is another military station along the way that weary travelers long to reach. Once they arrive, many meet with great disappointment that they are unable to acquire many of the articles they desperately need, such as fresh animals to replace those that have died along the way, or those that will not last much longer. You could have all the money in the world and it just would be useless. They just aren't available. Seems we're getting pretty close now though. I mean, looking at the map, we shouldn't be too far away. Leaving Fort Laramie, the scenery changes abruptly. From the gentle slopes to the plain, you're now traveling on sandy, steep trails, leading into the hills called the Black Hills because of the dense growth of juniper and pine. It's now obvious that many wagons on the trail are still extremely overloaded, and they have been abandoning all unnecessary items in mass quantities. Abandoned articles consisting of bacon, sugar, camp equipment, cooking utensils, clothes, household furniture, stoves, gridirons, carpenter's tools, blacksmith anvils, crowbars, drills, augers, gold washers, chisels, axes, trunks, spades, plows, large grindstone, baking ovens, kegs, and barrels are everywhere. One company once in Black Hills finally discarded an entire sawmill they planned to operate in California. Anything of any value that was discarded was usually ruined in some way so that successive travelers would not be able to use that item. That's a little unnecessary. I mean, I really don't get the point in that. I understand they may feel a bit gypped that they have to leave something behind, and they may feel a bit upset that they have to abandon something, but just to screw over someone that may be able to get use out of it, maybe to live a happier life, and you just fuck them over like that, well, yeah. As for your company captain orders that every item that isn't essential to the trip must be discarded, no matter how small. Fortunately for you, the gold coin you brought from Brooklyn was in your pocket, so you still have that. The letter from your long-lost brother Jack was in your hip pocket, along with the gold flake under the stamp, so that's still with you. Family photo fits in your pocket, so that isn't discarded. The company allows you to keep the Bible just in case someone needs it later. I think that was all we actually had anyway. You can buy other items from the store before you leave town. But in any case, you have to abandon items as you saw in the Cape Horn route, and now this route, it gets abandoned regardless. Everything else is thrown from the wagon besides the trail. The only way now to cross the North Plate River is by ferry. The line of wagons waiting to cross the ferry seems 20 miles in length. Impatient companies cut down trees to make their own routes for the wagons. Scenery changes once again. The landscape is barren and dotted with sagebrush. The desert-like region is a few widely scattered ponds, most of which are poisonous pools of alkaline water. It's a gruesome sight to see the results of one of your animals partaking in the poisoning. Surrounding these alkaline ponds, their sagebrushes are outnumbered only by animal carcasses. As a welcome relief to pass the alkaline territory into a region of sweet water, where the water is just that, sweet. Sweet! At the west end of the Sweetwater Valley, the trail crossed the broad plateway into the South Pass, the halfway point of the cross-country trek. A short break from the seemingly never-ending toil of crossing the country is taken at South Pass to celebrate the reaching of the halfway point of your journey, which coincides with the continual continental divide. You are now at the Pacific side of the Rockies. Again, it looks like we're definitely past halfway, and maybe halfway of the trip of the the wagons of this wagon group, but we're more than halfway across the country. Your wagon train is now entering an arid stretch of land. It'll be 50 miles before you, or the animals will be able to taste the refreshing cool water of the Green River. Every container is filled to the brim with life-giving water that will be valuable for the next few days. The trail across the desolate wasteland is strewn with dead oxen. The animals, as well as you, are parched and desperately in the water. This is the interactive scene I was mentioning, so I'll save it here and we'll wrap up this episode. So I'll see you when I record the next episode and put it up. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll just read this, of course. The captain bellows to command the animal team to halt. You're at the top of a steep-looking hill overlooking the Green River. I'll quickly save it. This scene is very much time reliant, and you got to do a lot quite quickly. But I'll leave that for next time. Anyway, see you next time. Bye.